coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home. Let the rain wash away all the pain of yesterday. I know my kingdom awaits, and they've forgiven my mistakes. I'm coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Surprise Your Spirit show. I am Kendra, your host from Surprise Your Spirit. I'd like to welcome any new listeners, and I would like to welcome back any faithful listeners. Tonight is free reading night, just to let everyone know. So that means you can call in and you can ask one question, or you can just ask for a what spirit wants you to know reading, and I can tap into your spirit team and let you know what it is that your spirit team would like you to know at this point in time. Now, before we head into that, anyone can call in now and get in line, I guess, for your free reading. While I kind of do a little bit of an intro of what's going on here, I just want to give all the listeners out there a heads up that this Sunday, November 12th, I am offering a free live workshop with me for 45 minutes. It'll be at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's on the art of forgiveness. It will be with the program Zoom, so you can see me and all of the other people who are going to join us. And it's free, so I'm taking 30 members. I think I have 7 seats left, so if anybody is interested, you can email me at kendra@surpriseyourspirit.com and let me know you're interested in the Art of Forgiveness workshop, and all that's required to register is your email address, and you will be sent the link and the password to get in and join us for that workshop. You can also message me on Facebook at Surprise Your Spirit if you're interested in that as well. So once again, just a free workshop on the art of forgiveness. It's a 45-minute live workshop with me. A lot of people have asked if I will be recording this workshop, and this actually isn't a workshop that I'll be recording because it is free. So any of my paid workshops are recorded and sent out to anyone who registers. So just letting everybody know that. I did run a life purpose workshop last Sunday. It was fantastic. I'd like to thank everyone who joined me in that. I am working on getting your videos out to everyone and the readings that go with that workshop. Now, I do have a manifestation workshop coming up at the end of November. So if anyone would like to register for that, you can check out my Facebook page in the event section and take a peek at what's going to be there and register for that. And that one will be done via Zoom also. I do believe it'll be 3 classes of 1.5 hours talking about manifestation and the energies around that. And that one will be videoed. So even if you can't make a whole session, or you hop on early and need to leave early, or you need to join late, you will still get the video from the whole session emailed out to you so you can pick up where you left off. And even if you can't join, you'll still get the video as long as you paid the registration fee. Now, like I said, it's free reading night for anyone who's joining. All you need to do to get a free reading from me is call in, and the number to call in is 1-928-485-4611. You can also pop into the chat room at Spreaker.com and pop in there and put your question, or say you'd like a message from Spirit, and I can take a peek at whatever is there for you. Now, I just wanted to talk a little bit about today's posting that I posted on my Facebook page, just to mention to anyone who's been wondering, there's usually a crystal choice at 8 p.m. every evening. There isn't one up tonight. And I'm not sure if that will resume on before Sunday or not, but just so that everyone knows, it will be back. It's just not something that I can fit into my schedule right now. And I know a lot of people have really enjoyed those, and you know, thanks for being interactive, and thanks for your comments and your feedback about those crystal choices and how they're really resonating with you, the reveals of the next day. So today's post I had posted about body image, and I have had an overwhelming amount of clients, both male and female, contacting me regarding the struggles that they're having around body image. Body image isn't something that I overly struggled with in my own personal life until probably the past 4 years or so. And I'm actually not even really that sure it's mine that I struggle with. I think I'm really aware of how others struggle with body image, although I do know that I do have a little bit of my own, just with how my routines have changed, and I haven't really been able to get the exercise and the movement into my routine the way that I normally would. So I guess it is a bit of my own, but I think it gets compounded with my awareness of others. But I really have actually had a lot of people reaching out for help in trying to, you know, find ways to overcome their struggles with body image. Now, after a few clients and, you know, looking at why I was having my own personal struggle, I really got into a conversation with Spirit one evening, and I, you know, just said, how can you help me with this so that I can help others? You know, how is a good way to look at this, and why is it such an issue? The first client that I actually shared my explanation from Spirit with got quite emotional and cried. and, really just said to me, man, I never really thought of things that way. And it really brought to light how we get on a one-way path or a one-way track in life, and we really ignore some of the most important things that we need to be paying attention to. So what I had said to her was, we all come here and our spirit picks a body. Our spirit picks a vehicle, it picks a body to, help it through its journey here on earth, to give it a life. Your spirit picked your body, the one that you have right now. And if your spirit chose your body as its vehicle, when it could have chose a different size, a different shape, a different color, and it didn't, it chose yours and it loves yours, because if it didn't love yours, it wouldn't have chose yours, because spirit operates from a place of love. Your spirit operates completely from a place of love. And it chose your body. It obviously loves your body. So why do you hate your body so much? You're really dishonoring your spirit and your higher self by allowing your ego to dictate the hatred and the loathing of your physical body. We really need to take a look at that, because your spirit can decide it doesn't want this vehicle anymore, and we all know what path that leads to. If your spirit decides it's going elsewhere, you ultimately face death. So we need to really, really be careful with how we speak to ourselves about our body, because every time you do that and it's so unkind and so unloving, you're hurting your spirit. You're robbing your spirit of its joy and of its love. And I said to this client, your body is your temple to your spirit. It is your spirit's sacred place. You wouldn't destroy your place of worship that you go to in the physical. So if you're of any faith and you go to a place of worship, whether it's a temple, a mosque, a church, maybe you just meet for Bible study, wherever you go to practice your faith and to worship, you wouldn't speak poorly inside that place while you were attending that. So why are you doing this to the temple that houses your personal spirit? We really need to work on trying to tell ourselves that we love our bodies. We're grateful for them. We need to recognize that maybe your body isn't perfect, and that you acknowledge it may be in need of some repairs, renovations, a little bit of work, but that you'll work towards it. But in the meantime, you're still grateful for it, and you're grateful for the home that it provides for your spirit. I'm encouraging everyone to take a deeper look at this. And it's so interesting that when you step away from the hatred and the loathing, how much your body image actually changes. You actually start to look in the mirror and say, kind of like my curves, or I think I lost a little bit of weight, and you probably didn't, but your whole perception is changing, and it's just changing to a place of gratefulness. But also, if you are empathic or an energy healer, you will notice that once you start to love your body and to be grateful for it and to honor it as something special, as a gift, you will actually shed weight, because a lot of empaths and a lot of energy healers, whether you're aware of whether you're an energy healer or an empath or not, will actually harbor fat tissue as protective layers from harsh energies. And you will start to shed those energies because you are not emanating that not feel good energy or that negative energy that's attracting more negative energy to you that your body's trying to protect your spirit from. Because your body is protection for your spirit. So please, everyone, look at this and see how you can change your perceptions around your body and see how much it adds or takes away joy from your life. And really look at what you can do to love yourself more, to love your physical body more, and enjoy what it has to offer to you or for you. If there is anyone out there who wants to speak about this at all, you can please call in and speak to me this evening. You don't need to have a reading. I would love to chat with you. If you're struggling with body image and you have some questions, please feel free to do so. I'm here to help, and I would love to help you with it. And, I just want everyone to really look at why you hate your body so much and what you're doing to your spirit, because it is creating blocks in your life for you to be open to receiving joy that would actually fulfill your spirit. So you're actually harming yourselves by loathing your physical body so much. Now, for anyone who's just joining, it is free reading night. Please feel free to call in and have a free reading. The number to call if you're interested is 1-928-485-4611. And we would love to have you on. You can ask one question, or you can just ask me to deliver what Spirit would like you to know. You can also hop onto the OTCR website and pop into the chat room while you're listening and ask your question there also, and I can answer your question from there. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is messages. I've had a lot of people inquiring about how can they know that they are receiving messages or guidance from Spirit. And one person said to me, well, I'll have to meditate, to know. And that's not true. All we have to do is really remove ourselves and allow ourselves to get real with ourselves. We are our own biggest blocks. If everyone would just get the heck out of their own damn way and allow life to happen for them, instead of trying to force life to happen the way that they want, they would be so easily and divinely guided that things would just work themselves out. In my life purpose workshop last weekend, someone said to me, well, how do I know if I'm living my purpose? And I said, you all are really going to hate this answer, but you know that you're living your purpose when life becomes easy. And I just got a bunch of blank stares. But life isn't supposed to be hard. Humans twist and turn and overthink and overanalyze and overlogicalize and create ridiculous scenarios day in and day out that make things complicated. And if they would just allow Spirit to guide them, things would flow much more smoothly. Now, having said that, that does not mean that you will not endure or encounter challenging situations. doesn't mean you won't lose family and you won't lose friends, to death or to life or to poor choices. That won't, prompt feelings of loss and whatnot. But if you look past those things and try to perceive them from another perspective and really look at what Spirit's trying to show you, it really, truly should be easy. It shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be, horrible. And just understanding that things are happening the way that they need to happen in order to take you where you need to go. So, what we really need to do in order to know whether or not we're receiving messages is first, everyone needs to believe that they are capable of receiving guidance from the universe, because we are. Number two, don't ask anyone else to tell you what it means. I often get instant messages, text messages, video messages, emails. Oh, I seen this. What does it mean? Sure, I can help to guide you, but I can't 100% tell you what it means, because every person and how they communicate with the universe is different. I can tell you how my guides are interpreting it to me, but your signs and symbols will be very, very different than the ones that I use in my readings with my interpretation. It's like your own secret language. But you first need to believe that you're capable of receiving messages. Secondly, you need to do the work. You need to do the documentation. You need to do the journaling. You need to start correlating. Every time I see this thing, this happens. Okay, well, that means that. And it's a learning journey. It's a creating journey, because the more you learn and the more you allow yourself to be aware that the universe is communicating with you, the more you create, the bigger the language you create, because you're learning the language. So you're actually creating your own universal language with your team of guides that nobody else can know. So it is a secret language. And it's a secret language that's supposed to empower you and help you. It's not supposed to harm you in any way, shape, or form. So being open to the fact that you can receive messages. Now, with having said that, it becomes really, really important that when we are receiving messages or we see something and we look at it and we get this knowing of what it means, that we don't allow our brains and our egos to jump in and say, no, silly. Or my most despised comment or reaction to those things is, well, that must be coincidence. It's really important that when you start to head down this path, this spiritual path, this path of personal growth, of wanting to see more of what the universe is made of, wanting to figure out, the more that life has for you and has to offer you, it's important to understand synchronicity and what it is. And it's important to understand that coincidence does not play any part of anything, but that synchronistic events do. Serendipity. Really looking at those things and understanding that the universe aligns places and situations for you. So it's almost like connecting the dots, or, connecting the dots in order to get through a maze without hitting any endings or hitting any walls, so you don't have to turn around and go back and try again. So when you fall into the flow of life and you're open to receiving the messages that are being given to you, life becomes easy. Or it's supposed to become easy. And if life is getting hard, you're probably walking off the beaten path a little bit, and Spirit's trying to direct you how to get back on. So How do you receive messages? You must be open to receiving them. You must trust that first instinct of when you see something and what it means. Some people just know when I see a butterfly, it means my grandfather or someone passed over is here. For me, when I see a rainbow, it's particularly connected to someone important in my life, and I know that they're thinking of me. When I see in a reading, in a personal reading, if I see colors, it's directly connected to meanings of chakras or some type of related thing kind of in that realm. And I really have to trust those knowings. And I get my feedback from my clients also. So when you're learning for yourself, that's the importance of journaling also, is to learn those languages and to see the repetitiveness or, maybe every time you're driving, that's when you do your best thinking and exploring and your best inner work. And say you're driving along and you keep running into a certain animal. Do the search on what that spirit animal means. Something in that search will pull to you. It may be one sentence or one phrase. It may not be the whole meaning. And look at that. Then also look at, where were your thoughts when you seen that animal? What were you thinking about? Because it should be consistent. Was it something very, very specific? Was it more broad, like career? And what did that message that you did your Google search in, when it resonated with you, have to do with the thoughts that were happening when you seen that animal? It's really, really doing the work. It's not easy. I mean, it's exactly like when we're all going to take a class to learn another language. We have to do the work. We have to do the studying. We have to do the repetitiveness and the remembering and, the researching and the practicing. And it's the same thing. Everyone on the planet has the ability to communicate with the universe, and how everyone does it is going to be completely different. So nobody can actually teach you how specifically to do it, because it's not like a language, because it is your own, but they can guide you through it and give you some tools in order to, or ideas or exercises to help you to understand your language with your spirit team. Now, another thing that I'm going to talk about on the other side of the break is, a lot of people there's a really, really karmic, a karmic time playing out at this point in time. This was a 1 year, so it's about creating. And we've just left a really, a really nasty transition of upheaval and destruction and shifting and shaking and moving on the planet, in the universe, in countries. And so now there's a time for moving forward, and there's a really karmic time playing out here. And so when I get back from the break, I'm going to talk about how a lot of people have reached out to me saying, I'm really experiencing some really not feel good experiences. And so after the break, we'll take a look at that. And just for anyone who's joined, it is free reading night, so please do feel free. All you need to do is call in to 1-928-485-4611. The number is in the chat room on the OTCR, so you can just pop into the chat while you pull up the website to listen to the show and get the number from there to call in. Or you can actually pop your question into the chat. So you can ask one question, or you can ask for a what spirit wants you to know reading. And I would love to help you out with that. So we will talk about, on the other side of the break, this really karmic time and some of the inquiries I've been encountering. And we will see you guys in a few moments.
Close your eyes, get out of your skin. All it is matters, let it in. If I could, I would be right here with you. In this world of ticking clocks, I hope I'm getting through. So close your eyes. Do you feel the same? Only thing that matters, without change, I will let you into my mind's deep. Recover the fallen tears that have been long asleep. The lights are out and heaven's open. We can be everything we want. Oh, stop the clocks, the bees are humming in between the contrasts of our souls. The lights are out and heaven's open. We can be everything we want. Stop the clocks, the bees are humming in between the contrasts of our souls. Close your eyes, close your eyes. All that is matters, all that is matters. Close your eyes, get out of your skin. All it is matters, let it in.
Off the Cuff e-Zine, an online magazine that is given out freely. The wide range of promotional is unlimited. We take pride in bringing it all together for you. And we recognize that it is hard to reach a lot of people by just having a website, or even those writers that do not have the means to advertise or have a website. This website will provide its free services of advertising and giving others a platform to share their experiences, skills, and ability. For we believe that it is through others we learn not only of others but of ourselves as well. So, if you need a chat room to hold sessions, we can provide that with audio and video for classes, workshops, or just single sessions. Contact us to see what we can provide with our special features and promotional experience. And it is all free. Yes, free. Join us and meet other like-minded people because that is what makes OTC the place to be. OffTheCuffDesign.com.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the Surprise Your Spirit show with me, Kendra, your host from Surprise Your Spirit. So anyone who's joining or just tuning in, just a reminder, it's free reading night, so you can call in and have a free reading. You can ask one question, or you can ask, just for a message from Spirit. So what would Spirit like you to know? And you can call in, and the number to call in is 1-928-485-4611. So one more time, the number to call in is 1-928-485-4611. Or you can pop into the chat at OTCR and put your question in there, and I'd be happy to answer it on air also. So just before we went into break, I had chatted a little bit about body image and the importance of how we respect our body and look at our physical body and how it's connected to our spirit or our higher selves. And then I also chatted a little bit, about this karmic time that we are in and how we were going to look at that, and how I also talked about how we receive messages from Spirit. So if anyone's just tuning in and wants to catch that, you can listen to the replay of the podcast. So I had mentioned about the really karmic time we're facing right now. So a lot of people have, reached out to me and explained that they've been encountering some pretty not feel good situations. When these things start happening, Spirit is trying to shine a light that you're headed down the wrong path. So until we learn the lesson, we're going to experience these things. Now, how we've lived out these past 5 years and how we've faced the challenges that, the beautiful planet Saturn has brought into our lives and into our paths, and some of the experiences we've gone through in order to create the shake-up in order for us to start fresh and new. We're reaping some of the rewards, which for many are wonderful, and we're heading towards reaping those rewards. For some, not so great. So, how you react during these times is important. To not keep spinning off. But please know that if you have been encountering some non-feel-good experiences, it's probably because Spirit's trying to guide you to a different path. So say things just aren't working out at work. Have you been thinking about or, been displeased, unsatisfied, unhappy with your job? Spirit is going to push you out of your job or push you until you lose your job because you're ignoring the fact that you need to create a change. Have you been hoping or wanting or, really thinking about having someone in your life that is consistent, but you won't take the leap to make a commitment or make the effort because you're afraid or you have a lot of excuses? Then if you keep just randomly dating in order to please a superficial feeling of having company instead of dating based on connection, things will happen. Maybe your car will break down or your shirt will the waiter will, drop the tray of food all over you. if you're dating people who aren't helpful or being able to add to your life in a feel-good way, and you're just doing it out of superficial pleasures, the universe will help to make those experiences unpleasant so that you will stop them. So if you continue to do them, it has nothing to do with you having bad luck or any of those sorts of things. And it has to do with spirits trying to direct you that part of your life needs to change. So the other thing too is maybe you've been thinking of moving and things around the house just start falling apart, but you're too afraid to make the change. Maybe you're afraid you can't afford it, or, what if this or what if that, and things will just keep breaking until you can't stand being there anymore and it forces you to move. I mean, just make the move. Listen to your spirit and what's going to make you happy and do those things. Yes, sometimes they take courage, but that's okay. When you're going to make a big change, you will always be guided and you will always be protected. So even if, that change is just a stop, then just understand that it's important. So I have a couple people in the chat here. I'm going to see. I have Peg in the chat and she would like to hear what Spirit has to say. So, let's see. Something is sprouting for you, Peg. This is the beginning of prosperity. Some sort of connection to peaches. I'm not sure what that is. Things are just peachy is actually what I think Spirit's trying to tell us. But there is a seed that you had planted a while ago, Peg, and it is starting to sprout. So maybe you have seen some of that, maybe you have not, but that's exactly what Spirit is saying, is things are just peachy, so keep hanging in there. Some butterflies surrounding this situation, actually. It does look like it's a partnership of some type, so it has to do with some type of connection. Let's see what else they can tell me here. It feels like it's an emotional connection. Okay, yeah. This actually is really looking towards, I want to say, career type or hobby. So something in that realm, Peg. And what's going on behind the scenes is that, actually, Spirit's trying to work with you in order to get you to vibrate more. I think you're holding back in the excitement with something new that's you've been waiting to come to fruition. There's still some sort of ending happening right now that they want you to work through. It does involve communication, and I do believe it's with yourself and expressing yourself and allowing yourself to fully be who you are. But Spirit wants you to know that there is huge material gains with spiritual rewards that are coming for you. There is some sort of recognition also coming, which feels like in the next 3 months, some type of recognition or reward, which is interesting to me. Your reading is all full of ones, which are balanced. So you're in a very balanced, creative stage right now. And the rest of the numbers showing up are going by threes, counting by threes, down from threes to 1. So you're getting 9, 6, 3, and balanced double ones. So that's interesting to me. You're working your way towards something that's just peachy. That's all they're telling me, and it does feel like it's career-oriented, or career oriented or hobby oriented, something of that type. You have a really solid foundation also. So that's what they're telling me. You're also being guided, and I think you're really aware of that. There's a really bright light guiding you. Lots of balance. This feels really good. That's all they're giving me at this point in time. And so now Kareen is here and she has a message. So we will ask her, what do we need to know for Kareen spirit? Kareen. Okay, Kareen, so for Kareen, okay, Kareen, Spirit's showing me that you're overthinking things. You have conflict in the brain. Really, you have a lot of overthinking with regards to expressing yourself verbally. The next thing that comes up too is Spirit wants you to know that it's really important that you allow your passion to come from your spirit, because you're not allowing your spirit to drive your passion. And I think that's what the mental conflict or the thought conflict is. You're allowing your thoughts to drive you and you're not allowing your spirit to drive you, and it really is causing an imbalance. So your higher self and your ego self or your human self are imbalanced. And what Spirit's telling you to do for yourself in order to overcome this is it's really important that you work on building a firm foundation that will allow you to grow from there. So trying to handle this through your thoughts is not going to help. You need to ground yourself and build a firmer foundation in your connection with Spirit, in order to allow that mental conflict is what they say, but thought processes to be able to take a back seat. So working on your connection with Spirit. Spirit is trying to get you to heed the fact that you need to stand strong in your knowing with your spirit. So you need to work a little bit more on that, and you need to stand your ground when it comes to a battle between ego and spirit. This really seems like there's a firm foundation that needs to be built around career. So whatever conflict, thought process conflict you're having really needs to, you really need to look at that and really see why you're not allowing Spirit to lead you there. You need to allow the fire to rise from your heart is actually what they're telling me. There are new beginnings coming, but they are a little bit delayed. Probably till February or March, until you learn to ground yourself in your connection with Spirit in order to stop those thought processes that are holding you up and creating the block from moving forward. And so, like I said, it is around career. But do know that there are new beginnings there. Like, you are working towards them, so don't be hard on yourself. You just really need to look into that and your spiritual connection in order to keep going. But making sure you're working on having a firm foundation, and that's something you'll need to work on every single day in order to, overcome the challenge of stepping into that spiritual aspect of yourself. So that's all that I have for you. Thank you, Peg and Kareen, for allowing me to bless you with some messages. So that's all that I have for this evening, everyone. I'm going to sign off a little bit early this evening just due to some scheduling conflicts. But I would like to remind everyone that I am having a Art of Forgiveness workshop. It is a free workshop. It's a 45-minute free workshop. If you're interested, you can check out my Surprise Your Spirit page. All that is needed to register is your email address. And so you can message me on my Surprise Your Spirit page, or you can email me at kendra@surpriseyourspirit.com. And it is via Zoom, so it will be via video. It is at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time this Sunday, November 12th. And if you have any more questions, you can contact me to get that information if you so choose. We do have a manifestation workshop also coming up, so if anyone's interested in that, you can let me know. Please remember that on November 30th, I will be having a wonderful guest. I believe her name is Patricia coming, joining me and talking about dream interpretation. So I know there are a lot of people out there who have been asking about it. So I'm going to bring someone in who knows a little bit more than I do, and we will be discussing those things. I am also working on, Pamela Cummings is her name. Pamela, not Patricia. And so I apologize to Pamela. I did know that. I have Patricia on the brain. And so she will be joining me. And we will be speaking about dream interpretation. She'll be actually willing to take everyone's calls. So please join me on the 30th for that. I am trying to pop another guest in also before then. I'm still working that out. And I have a couple other people I'm hoping to have joining us also, but I know we do have Thanksgiving in the United States coming up, so that does push some time, but hopefully through December we can have. I'm going to try and have a guest for next week. I'm just going to wrap up some loose ends there to make sure that works out, and they'll be posted on my page for anyone who is interested. And I would like to thank OTCR and my wonderful producer Sprinkles for having me here every week. And please come back and check us out. And I wish everybody to have a wonderful rest of your evening. Take care, and we'll catch you next week.